If you're sick of the sticker chart reward system working for a week and then the magic just wears off, then this video is for you. Don't get me wrong, I am a lover of sticker charts. I think that they are a great temporary motivator, but they are not a long-term solution. Most of the time, when parents tell me that the sticker chart just didn't work for their kid, I actually ask for more details. I don't just say, we're done with this. I want more info. How many stickers does your child need to earn before they need to get a prize? What stickers are you using? Did your child pick the stickers? Did you explain the sticker chart with your child outside of a reward time? All of these things are going to make a big difference. First things first, I always recommend starting a very brand new sticker chart every single day because your child does not have a concept of calendar time the way adults do. If they're telling a story and they said something was yesterday, but it was like months and months ago, it's because they don't understand time on the same timeline as adults. Starting fresh every day gives your child a clean slate and a new ability to earn prizes. Now, what I like to do, depending on the age of the child, is start with 3 stickers in a row for them to earn 3 stickers before getting a physical prize. And we'll talk about the physical prize in a little bit. But once they've earned 3, you can do the 3 stickers a couple times before increasing it to 4, and then 5, and then 6, and really starting to space it out. This is going to continue to move the needle in the reward process so that you're not either stuck with nothing working or stuck with only this one thing working. You have to continue to move the needle, move the level of motivation for your child. Which brings me to the next point is, what stickers are you using? Yes, it makes a difference. We're not just using whatever stickers might be laying around the house or something that their sibling picked out or something their sibling had previously loved. You need to bring your child to the store, let them go down the sticker aisle and pick whatever stickers they want. When your child is motivated by a prize that they want, then it makes all the difference. We're letting our child pick out the stickers that they're putting on their chart. We're refreshing their chart every single day, and we are going to continue to increase expectations and have them earn more stickers before earning a prize. We will talk more about prizes and what exactly should these prizes be. I remember I was 13 years old babysitting, one of the first times that I ever babysat. The parents had bought a swing set and they put everything up except the slide. And they said as soon as their daughter was potty trained, they were gonna put up the slide, and that they told the kid this. And even though I was young, I remember that as soon as she went to the bathroom, she thought she was getting the slide. She did not understand the concept of being fully potty trained. What toddler would understand the phrase, you need to be fully potty trained? They don't know what that means. We need to explain it in a way of saying no more accidents, no pee-pee in underpants, keeping your pants dry, however you want to say it, but we're not using the phrase potty trained to your child. So as we're stretching out the rewards with the sticker process and having them earn more stickers, we're also moving the needle on what they're earning stickers for. So maybe at the beginning they got 1 sticker for pee and 2 stickers for poop, but maybe they really got a hang of pee. So maybe they're only getting a sticker before nap in the morning if they have no accidents, and then 1 more sticker in the afternoon if they had no accidents. So you see, we're adding a little bit more to the game here. Once you consider your child to be mostly potty trained, then you can start using the same chart day after day instead of using a new one every single day. And you can remind them before you go to bed, let's count how many stickers you have today and let's earn more tomorrow so you can fill it up and get your prize, whatever. And so now let's talk about those prizes. Like I said, at the beginning, if you're doing 1 sticker for pee and 2 stickers for poop, and I'm not saying that's the end all be all, that's what you absolutely have to do, but that is what I recommend. Your child will be and should be earning many prizes in the very first few days of potty training. And I'm talking about potty training here, but this can go for anything whatsoever, especially if you're transitioning to a toddler bed, if you're working on, maybe your kid needs to learn to brush their teeth twice a day, maybe they need to earn stickers for that. So anything that you are trying to reinforce with positive reinforcement, so any behavior modification you can use this strategy for. So For the video's sake, I'm talking about potty training, but just know that you can apply it anywhere. So when it comes to rewards, what you want to do is bring your kid to the dollar store. When they're picking out their stickers, you also want them to pick out prizes for their prize bin, their treasure box, whatever you want to call it. You want to have them all inside the same bin, on top of a shelf, somewhere your kid can see but can't reach. So those can be the physical prizes, and just like the stickers, your child needs to be the one to pick them out because that will motivate them to want to earn them. If you're just buying things that you think that your kid wants, but you're not even 100% sure, they may not want that, they may not care, and you may just end up with a bunch of plastic junk in your house that your kid never even touches or cares about playing with. When it comes to those physical prizes, I actually love the arts and crafts aisle or the Play-Doh stuff, things that are tangible, but you use them once or twice, maybe, you know, a couple times, and then you get your use out of them and you feel okay with throwing it out. Because again, this is a temporary positive reinforcement behavior modification strategy. So it does not have to be something that will always be around and in your house. It can be something that your kid uses a couple times and then it's done. On the flip side, it doesn't always have to be a physical prize. If your child is motivated by trips to the playground, you can also have a prize bin that has different things written on it, and you're going to want to include pictures, so whether you can draw them or print them off of the internet and put inside a box, and maybe you have your kid mix it all around and close their eyes and pick one out, or they can pick whichever one they want. But some of the ideas that I had, and I wrote them down here so I didn't forget any, but some one-on-one time, an extra bedtime activity. This is a good reward for kids who may be dealing with separation anxiety. Maybe instead of just doing book cuddles bed, you're doing a puzzle together before you do the book, or playing a board game together before you read their book, and then have your cuddles and put them to bed. Build it into the reward system. Maybe you're having just a very simple celebration. Maybe just those positive vibes really encourage your child, and this is where you need to know what does motivate your kid and know what does excite them. If a dance party motivates your kid, put it on a card and put it in the prize bin. If a parade around the house really excites your child, have a big kid parade when they accomplish whatever task it is to get all their stickers. If your child loves cookies, have them help you bake cookies as one of their prizes. I love getting kids in the kitchen, having them help you cook, and not really anything that can be dangerous. You're not gonna have them opening the oven and putting something in, but they can help you mix the batter, they can help you roll the dough, they can help you put it on the pan. All these things that not only help your child have a sense of accomplishment, but also they're learning about things in the kitchen going on as well. So it's a win-win situation. Maybe you don't want to cook or bake. Maybe you just want to go out for dinner or go out for ice cream or go out and have somebody else do the heavy lifting and you just reap the benefits. So you could always do an outing like that. And you can really be creative here. The sky is the limit. Anything that your child really loves, you can include in your reward system. It doesn't need to be rocket science. And I will just say, I'll pop a picture right here, but I hate these reward charts because they are far too overwhelming for toddlers. Honestly, it's overwhelming for me and I wouldn't even know where to start. So then I'm the kind of person who, when I'm overwhelmed and I don't know where to start, I just don't start and I don't do anything. And so that will end up having some refusal from your child and a lot of pushback. So we will avoid that situation at all costs and keep it simple. Just keep it simple. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you are in need of any sleep training or potty training help, check out my website in the link down below. I am a pediatric sleep consultant and potty training coach, and I would love to help your family reach your goals. And keep blooming. Mwah.